Okay, let's talk. This is my channel, and besides a PvP content creator, I am also a hardworking individual with a job, family, and regular routine. Also a community leader in my area and a Niantic ambassador. Will this video get me cancelled? Well, I do not think so, but it will only be constructive, so there is no reason to do so. Unlike other content creators, I am always here to provide solutions and not only expose the problems of the game. Here you can see that my videos get around 3k views on average, but I am not here to rant about that. I am here because these numbers tell a story, and it's not only Niantic's fault. These numbers do not lie. Whenever I post greatly content, views are kinda high. You can see here that we got 4k on this one, we got something like, I don't know, 3k on this one, but it all depends on the thumbnail Pokemon and the clickbaiting title as well. For example, we got here something like a Turtonator video that did not go that well on the views, only 1.4k. So it really tells a story about what the views want to see. Whenever I post a Great League content, views might be high, but this also applies on Great League special cups like Fossil Cup. When it's time for Ultra League and Master League, here is when everything changes. 500 views, 1k views, views like the channel is underperforming, but in reality it doesn't. People just don't care about spicy Pokemon or heavily excelled ones for Ultra League or Master. Over here you can see my videos, and if I go here and type something like an ultra term and check show all, you can see all of my Ultra League videos. You can see here that the other day with that Armored Mewtwo, which has a pretty solid title and a kind of a clickbaiting one, we still got about 700 views. 2000 on the previous one, but besides that, well, not gonna look that great. Not sure if that's gonna be here or because it is the Ultra Beast, but overall we're not getting that many views. We get around 2k, but still most of them are either on 2k or just much below than that, like this one, 1.1, 1.5. I'm not sure why this keeps happening, but I think that a major factor has to be something like the Excel grind. So Excels were always a problem, pretty much since they got introduced. But why am I making a video for that right now? Because at first it was interesting to see how and where it goes, then we could replace those Excel Pokemon with non-Excel alternative ones, like replacing Lickitung with a Licky for example. Basically you get the same Licker with Bolslam, but a little bit fluffier than Lickitung. However, things changed recently since the metas got extremely stale the past few seasons. Move changes got almost non-impactful, like I don't know, we got some pretty sad updates on the moves, and of course no new meta Pokemon are introduced in 2024, at least not meta relevant ones. Besides Mega Pokemon, I also do not see a big contender on the damage output for PvE lately, so that can also tell a story on its own. Community days are mediocre to say at least. We do not have a lot to expect of there, and of course the game feels like an infinite loop. And at this point I want to mention that when events happen, we have weird Pokemon showcased and spawning, and we just repeat our own selves. I mentioned before that I am a community ambassador, but what does this really mean? We cooperate with Niantic voluntarily to provide feedback about the game, offer solutions, be respectful, and create a fun and healthy environment for our community members. So far they have been doing incredible work. I mean, Niantic, believe it or not, they are doing some amazing work for our communities. We get merch, event codes, meet up in real life much easier through events, and take photos which end up tightening up our bond. At first I was like, that has to be super cringe to take photos with the flag and stuff, but overall it seemed like the perfect idea to bond together even more. So personally I have talked to my community members, and we shared our thoughts to Niantic and the rest of the ambassadors, both for PvE and PvP. we have expressed our feelings about the boring aspect of the game, but we also offered some solutions in the process. On my channels, I focus on PvP, so I'll try to keep things simple and focus on the matter. People are not interested in Ultra League or Master League because mainly of Excel Pokemon. They used to care when we had Giratina obstacle metas for Ultra League, for example, much before Excels were introduced. After Excels, everything dropped, and I'm not gonna talk now about how remote passes impacted the legendary grind, but they did. But Niantic at this point had some really solid points on doing so. They have talked to us, and basically they're kinda right. Remote passes destroyed the game, but what I'm pretty much disappointed about is that they're still into the game and they use them like they are kind of a big event to use them remotely all the time and unlimited at some special events. So yeah, I'm not sure why they're doing this. We want to think that some of our solutions already are implemented into the game. We have suggested to always have a Great League format active for Go Battle League, and there you have it. We suggested to have more moves to Pokemon and think out of the box. For example, every single Dragon type Pokemon learns the same move. We got Dragon Breath or Dragon Tail as the fast attack, and we got something like a Draco Meteor, Dragon Claw, or even Outrage as their second. And from these three, well, only Dragon Claw can be viable. The other two, not so much. I'm not sure where Niantic is gonna go with that later on, but Dragon types, for example, so many other typings can be included in the conversation, but I have to bring an example, and Dragon types can learn pretty much anything that they can. So why not have a Dragonite with Thunder Punch or Fire Punch? Give them elemental moves, give them something like, I don't know, Kingdra can learn something like a Psybeam, for example. This can always be a game changer and of course make Pokemon more unique. Do not have the same stuff being repeated, and perhaps sometimes you need to remove the moves and of course replace them with something else without allowing these moves being legacy or whatever. Just do it and most probably everyone is gonna have fun. This can always add to the experience of the PvP aspect. So we also suggested to introduce moves outside of its seasonal beginning to increase the interest of players like in Mega Lucario Raid Day. We saw there how good Force Palm could actually be, and most probably we're gonna see it implemented later on the next season actually to more fighters. So I'm just gonna expect it to be like a game changer for Pokemon like Machamp, like Conkeldurr. Who knows, perhaps we can see them back in action and not like cheesy off meta picks. And we got more suggestions, but overall Niantic is hearing. This is what I want to say to you. They are hearing, just in their own pace. And that's mainly the problem. It takes so much time to see a simple difference in the game, and during that time span, people just quit. I am not here to rant though. I'm just gonna keep going with the stuff that I want to say because personally I find it very tough to keep up with the content. I spend so much time on my videos only to get 500 views sometimes. Feel like I'm getting stale like the game. But remember what I mentioned earlier in this video, it's not only Niantic's fault. Basically, people are negative. And no, whatever Niantic did in the past, it's not understandable to act like a single-minded individual. I get a ton of hate comments on my videos. Most are comments like you suck, your team suck, I lose L all the time because of you, and some others are more specific like I cannot even understand what the heck you're saying, which is something pretty weird. I don't have the Pokemon on the thumbnail, and I'm like, why did you even click on the video, dude? That makes no sense at all. What I mean to say here is that negativity is so contagious, not only to me, but to each other, because one person starts and it's so easy for the next one to follow. For me, negativity is the worst. I'm always trying to be the most positive self of my own on my content and always replying with humor and trying to showcase fun and competitive teams. But from now on, you need to understand. People love Great League formats over Ultra League and Master League, and also are very competitive teams. Also, they kinda love clickbaiting titles with certain Pokemon showcased on the thumbnail. Let's say we have a team consisted of Ludicolo, Berserker, which are some pretty off-meta Pokemon for Great League, and all of a sudden you emerging there with Greninja. Greninja is not even a top tier Pokemon to use, but still people are gonna check your video because of the thumbnail including Greninja. This Pokemon is a fan favorite and that's why we have to include it. This is kinda sad, but it's the sad truth that we need to face. What I'm always sharing as a community ambassador is that I get more people for my meetups on raid days when compared to other in-game events. We're talking about times 4 more people. This is crazy if you ask me. This also means that not a lot of people care about PvP. Whenever I'm trying to organize a PvP tournament, I always end up in a dead end because most people do not even care about PvP. In my area, I might be the only one that PvPs in total, not even for fun. They never act like they care for that. When it comes down to my content on YouTube, I'm getting almost zero support from my local community. This is sad. What it's even sadder though is that same goes for my country's community. Basically, they all know that I am a YouTuber for Pokemon Go PvP, and besides the few that not only watch but also comment regularly, I get zero support for my content as well. So at this point, I want to mention Goetmak, who is an amazing subscriber of this channel, watching my videos all the time, is not even from Greece, and I guess that commenting all the time doesn't get a lot of their time, of their free time at least, but they do it because they care about the content, they appreciate my efforts. I really want to see more people commenting on my videos positively, but negativity is what always gets me and what gets all of us. Memberships always help more than anything, more than a subscribe, more than a like, because we're talking about real life money, but I would rather have a person commenting regularly and appreciating my efforts rather than having something like a one-time payment and then they never show up on the comment section again. At least these are my thoughts. For one final time, I want to say, and I have to say, that both as a Pokemon Go PvP content creator and community ambassador, I will keep posting and uploading my thoughts, my videos, and try to improve our community for as long as I can. But unfortunately, it will not last forever. That is gonna be all for today. Do what you want, but these are my thoughts on the game. Till the next time, take care, trainers.